Welcome to the Perham Show. I am here with Lina Ballar, and we are at the ITOW Veterans Museum, in their own words, Veterans Museum. Lina's the director. Thank you so much for being with us on the Perham Show. Yeah. Now, you've got this wonderful exhibit.
We have a great exhibit that just opened this beginning of the month, and it's called Portraits of Home. And actually, we had a preview of that in the wintertime, but it was kind of a quiet time of the year, so we wanted to show it again. This is called, like I said, called Portraits of Home. It's put together by the Greater Minnesota Housing Fund, and what it is it's a series of photographs by 5 very accomplished photographers who have really taken on themselves the mission of portraying some of the challenges housing challenges facing people. And in this exhibit, it's facing veterans in Greater Minnesota.
Veterans
and
specifically.
so, we're fortunate, maybe right in, what we know immediately, that we don't have any homeless, but it's awfully close to us. And it certainly behooves us to see what we can do to make sure that it doesn't happen, particularly to, anyone, but particularly to our veterans, who have given so much. So as you go around and you look at these photographs, you can see that an awful lot of these are just sort of, kind of strange hard luck stories. One guy came back and he'd had an apartment in a house, and he expected to come back to it after Iraq, and they'd sold the house. And so meanwhile he lives in the trunk of his car until he can find something else. So there's just so many challenges, and if there's a way that we can be aware of the needs and do more for our veterans, that's one of the reasons for doing an exhibit like this.
Well, and you say, it's not here, it's not really close to home, but those things happen sometimes so quickly that it could happen here in a heartbeat. And I'm sure that there are many people that we don't know about, and veterans that we don't know about, that are struggling with just that basic need that most of us just take for granted.
I think there are many of us, we are fortunate enough to have a place to live, and we don't realize some of the challenges that face people, especially when they've been gone a long time. And veterans face a special challenge because they've been maybe out of the country for a couple of years. Things have changed. Our economy has changed, for one thing. Yeah. And sometimes when they come back, they need more assistance than you would if you just had been here all along, and been able to deal with changes as they happen.
Yeah, been in a week or two or a few week vacation,
Exactly.
These people have been out
this has
for
been a vacation,
long time.
2-year vacation for them. This has been 2 years of work. And,
really a lot of things have changed. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. When you go around and look at these photographs, they are just breathtaking. Yeah. So
they're
touching.
Wonderful photographs, but it's also, like I say, some really sobering statistics. I think they said one of the statistics is like 36% of homeless are veterans. Now, some of them are from older eras, not just Iraqi veterans, but Vietnam veterans and World War II veterans. And some of our homeless people are people who have other issues than just not having a place to live. But, when you look at these pictures, I look at them and I go, oh, this is just a hard luck story. It could happen to us. It could happen to any of us. Yes. You could lose your job. You could lose, you could get sick. Your wife could die, or your husband could die.
Fire,
all kinds of things could go wrong. And
a
so,
fire, or a tornado, or a flood. Now, how long is this exhibit going to be here,
This
Lina?
exhibit will be up through the end of the month. And I realize it is a little, even when I talk about it, it's a little more sobering than some of the stuff that we do. But it is, it does portray some of the challenges facing veterans, and I think that's important as the Veterans Museum to be able to bring that up.
And the coming up now in the first part of September.
Coming up, we have a little bit more lighthearted exhibit. It's called The Life Atomic, and it's about growing up under the threat of the atom bomb. And if that sounds like that was even scarier than today, when you look back, there's all kinds of things that came out of that. There was a whole change of the culture, and so we're going to have some fun with that, and and hopefully maybe even show some old movies like Dr. Strangelove or something.
That sounds like great fun. I know that they put aside so many bomb shelters and things like that you talked about in the Cold War, and duck and cover under the desks, and just things we haven't even thought about for many years. But thank you, Lina, so much for being with us.
I'd love to have you come to the ITOW Veterans Museum. We're open every day, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sunday 1 to 4. So stop on in.
Veterans are always free.
Veterans are always great.
Okay. Welcome back to the Perham Show. I'm speaking with Pastor Tony Kloos of St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Evergreen, and we're going to talk Mission Fest today. Welcome back.
Well, thank you. We do this every year, and I got to
Yes.
see you last year, and
Yes,
it's
and
fun to be together.
And this is so such a you work hard, and this is many churches or a few churches are part of this effort, aren't
We
they?
have 3 churches that come together for this. My church, St. Paul's Evergreen, St. John's Corliss, and also St. Paul's Perham is involved in this. Actually, it was started by St. Paul's Perham. Don't ask me how many years ago, though. And we meet out at the Pioneer Grounds on Sunday morning. This year it's August 23rd.
Okay. What time do you meet? So that's the
It's
Pioneer Grounds here
Yep,
outside of Perham.
Just
Okay.
outside of Perham.
Okay.
It starts with a Bible study at 8:30. There's a music sing at 9:30, and then our service is at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And we go for an hour. We talk with our mission speaker again after the service,
Oh, okay.
and then we have lunch.
So does somebody conduct the service other than one of the pastors, or
We
is that your
all-
guest speaker?
The guest speaker gives the sermon, and the 3 pastors take parts of the service
Okay.
that morning.
So let's
And,
talk about your guest speaker.
Our guest speaker this year is Mark Pesky, a pastor up at Bemidji area. He is in the American Indian Outreach at Cass Lake, reaching out to the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe Indians.
Okay.
Get that right?
Yeah.
And also a member of LAMP, Lutheran Association of Missionary Pilots, that does a lot of work in Canada and Alaska. And so his talk should be very interesting, very fun, very informative, and we hope he has a few of his people with him that he has brought to Christ. So that's
Absolutely.
wonderful to look forward to.
Yeah, and then you mentioned, of course, the lunch.
Can't go without a lunch at one of these. That's, as I like to say, a light lunch, and as you brought up,
You have
to have 2 hands and about 3 plates to cover all the stuff that's in the lunch. But no, we have a lunch after, and then starting in the afternoon, early afternoon, we have a band that's going to perform for us. It's called the Great Adventures Gospel Band, and they have a bluegrass gospel style, and they're from Perham, Minnesota. And it's a family, and the youngest one is involved and sings, and I think he plays, and he's 5 years old, so it's going to be
Amazing.
interesting to see.
Well, and that's just such a uplifting music, the bluegrass anyway, and to have a whole family.
Yes, it is. We also have other things going on that
Okay.
afternoon. We'll have things for the kids. I believe there might be a climbing wall again there, and I might be talked into trying to climb it this year. Last year I gave that up.
Yeah.
But we also will have some activities for the youth groups, and a 100-foot banana split.
Oh, wow.
Although I think I'm going to try and talk him into 150-foot next year, because there's never any there when I go for my banana split.
See, you've got to volunteer to participate earlier for that event and later for the rock climbing.
Yes, that's my problem.
Yeah, you're probably just a little too busy, going around and
Having too much fun is what it is.
Yeah.
And it is a fun day for everyone involved. And above all, we get a chance to hear of some of the mission work of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod.
And that is your goal for this event, not only to get together to have fun, to get all these people and fun things together, but you really want to spread the word about the missions that your churches are involved in.
Yes, it's always nice to hear how these missions are going, hear from the people who are involved in them or were involved in them, but also helps us keep in mind that that is our goal as a church, is to reach out to those who don't know Christ and let them know of the wonderful love and forgiveness that Jesus Christ has given us.
Well, it sounds like a good mission and a good day, and that's August 23rd out at the Pioneer Grounds in Perham, and it sounds like it's all day. Can you quickly, we're going to run out of time, do you have a phone number?
You can call me at 334-8125.